Welcome to Invest to Freedom. I am Frank. Right now, there is an absolute epidemic of people living a complete financial lie. You see them everywhere. The guy ordering $300 bottles of champagne at the club who just had his credit card declined at the grocery store. The couple living in a high-rise penthouse who have absolutely $0 in their retirement accounts. We have completely blurred the lines between looking wealthy and actually being wealthy. The truth is, modern society makes it incredibly easy to finance an illusion. But that illusion is a trap, and if you fall into it, you will spend the rest of your life working exhaustingly hard just to pretend you have money. Today, I am going to expose 10 clear signs that someone is completely fake rich. Once you understand these signs, you will never be fooled again, and more importantly, you will avoid making these toxic financial mistakes yourself. But before we break down these 10 signs, I want to hear from you. What is the most ridiculous thing you have ever seen someone do just to look rich? Let me know your story in the comments below, and if you are serious about building real quiet wealth instead of just faking it, hit that subscribe button right now. Let us get into it. Sign number 1 is the human billboard effect. People who are faking their wealth have a desperate need for you to know exactly how much money they spent on their outfit. They wear t-shirts with massive glowing designer logos plastered across the chest. They wear belts with buckles the size of dinner plates just to show off a brand emblem. They treat their bodies like advertising space for luxury companies. Truly wealthy people operate completely differently. They value high-quality fabrics, perfect tailoring, and subtle craftsmanship. They do not need to broadcast their net worth through a cotton t-shirt because their confidence does not rely on a brand name validating their existence. When someone is screaming their wealth through massive logos, they are usually trying to drown out the reality of their bank account. Sign number 2 is financing temporary experiences. Thanks to modern buy now, pay later applications, people are going into debt for things that disappear the moment they are consumed. The fake rich will literally take out a high-interest installment loan to sit in first class on a flight to Dubai, just so they can take a picture of the complimentary champagne for their social media. They finance weekend table service at luxury nightclubs. They pay interest on a steak dinner. Real wealth is about acquiring assets that appreciate and pay you back over time. Fake wealth is taking out a loan to buy a temporary feeling of superiority that vanishes the exact second the weekend is over. Sign number 3 is the severe liquidity crisis. This is the person who drives a $90,000 sports car, wears a $10,000 watch, but falls into an absolute panic if they have to pay for a $500 emergency. If their dog needs to go to the vet, or their house needs a new water heater, they suddenly have to borrow money from their parents or put it on a credit card. All of their money is locked up in depreciating metal and leather. They look like a millionaire, but their actual cash flow is a nightmare. Real wealth is having a boring, invisible safety net of cash sitting in a high-yield savings account, allowing you to sleep peacefully regardless of what surprises life throws at you. Sign number 4 is proximity flexing. This is a psychological trick where someone tries to absorb the wealth of the people around them. They never talk about what they actually own. Instead, they constantly name drop. They talk about how they know a guy who owns a yacht, or they post photos from a private country club where they were only invited as a guest for 3 hours. They try to associate themselves with high-status locations and high-net-worth individuals, hoping that you will assume they are part of that elite circle. Genuinely successful people do not need to borrow the credibility of their friends. They let their own quiet actions and stability speak entirely for themselves. Sign number 5 is the fake hustle aesthetic. You have definitely seen this person. They are obsessed with the visual presentation of being a successful entrepreneur, but they have no actual business. They post photos of their luxury coffee cup next to a glowing laptop at 5 in the morning with a caption about the daily grind. They spend thousands of dollars on luxury masterclasses and exclusive networking retreats, but they never actually produce a product or a service. They are playing dress up. They are treating entrepreneurship like a costume party. Truly wealthy business owners are usually too busy actually working, solving complex problems, and generating real revenue to perfectly stage a photo of their morning coffee. Sign number 6 is renting the aesthetic. There is a booming industry of applications that allow people to rent the appearance of wealth by the hour. The fake rich will rent an exotic car for a Tuesday afternoon strictly to record a video of their hand on the steering wheel. They will rent a massive mansion on Airbnb for one night, bring 4 outfits, and take enough photos to slowly post over the next 3 months to make it look like they live there. Their entire life is a movie set. When the cameras turn off, they return the keys and go back to a reality they are desperately trying to escape. Real wealth is owning your reality even if it is completely modest and unglamorous. Sign number 7 is condescending financial gatekeeping. When you talk about responsible, proven wealth-building strategies, the fake rich will laugh at you. If you mention that you are consistently buying broad market index funds and holding them for the long term, they will roll their eyes. They will tell you that index funds are for average people and that they are heavily involved in angel investing, private equity, or some secret offshore strategy. They use complex financial jargon to make you feel stupid and to make themselves sound elite. The irony is that the world's actual billionaires universally recommend simple, low-cost index funds. The fake rich overcomplicate their finances to sound smart while secretly losing all their money to high fees and terrible speculative bets. Sign number 8 is the delegation delusion. They read one book that said successful chief executive officers delegate their tasks, so they apply this to their completely average life. Even though they make a very standard salary, they refuse to do anything themselves because they claim their time is simply too valuable. They pay massive premium delivery fees to have a single coffee brought to their door. They hire virtual assistants to handle basic emails that would take them 5 minutes to write. They bleed their wealth through 1,000 tiny convenience fees, acting like a billionaire while making $60,000 a year. True wealth requires knowing exactly when your time is actually valuable and when you are just being lazy and financially irresponsible. Sign number 9 is the superiority complex towards service workers. This is the absolute biggest red flag of someone who is pretending to be important. The fake rich believe that wealth is defined by the ability to look down on others. They treat waiters, valets, retail employees, and customer service representatives with absolute disrespect. They snap their fingers, they complain about minor inconveniences, and they demand special treatment to project a false sense of authority. People who have actually built genuine, secure wealth know exactly how hard it is to work for a living. They are universally polite, they tip generously, and they treat everyone with baseline human respect because their ego is not tied to demeaning others. Sign number 10 is the all-or-nothing lifestyle. The fake rich have absolutely no middle ground in their life. They are either posting a photo from a 5-star Michelin-rated restaurant, or they are eating instant noodles in the dark at home for the next 2 weeks. They blow their entire paycheck on one massive flashy weekend in Miami, and then they avoid answering calls from unknown numbers because debt collectors are trying to reach them. Their financial life is an extreme roller coaster of high-visibility spending followed by severe hidden poverty. Genuine wealth is characterized by total consistency. It is a smooth, stable, and peaceful existence that does not require wild extremes to feel fulfilling. The core difference between real wealth and fake wealth comes down to who you are trying to impress. The fake rich dedicate their entire lives and all of their money to impressing complete strangers. They buy things they do not need, with money they do not have, to impress people they do not even like. The actually wealthy optimize their money to buy themselves freedom, peace of mind, and time. They do not care if you think they are rich, because they know the truth when they log into their investment accounts. Do not fall into the trap of performing your success. Stop buying the illusion and start building the foundation. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Keep your head down, keep your expenses low, and keep your investments growing. I am Frank. This is Invest to Freedom, and I will see you in the next one.